So you're spending your evenings scrolling through TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Insta Reels, and you're coming across all these 23, 25-year-olds driving their Lambos, showing them all off, and then giving it all that about how they're making 20, 30K a month. And you're left wondering, why the is that not me? And I totally get it. I think most people will. Okay. It really me off because there's me been working like a mug for the last 25 years, and they've been working probably 3 or 4 years tops, and then raking it in. And then you're left thinking at 43 years old or however old you are, did I miss my chance? Well, let me tell you something right now. That thought you're having, that is the biggest lie you've been sold. So in this video, I'm going to share some data with you to bust some of those myths that may be holding you back and give you the real truth about starting your own business after the age of 40. And you might want to stick around to the end because I'm going to show you 3 unfair advantages that you have right now that young entrepreneurs would kill for. So before we get started, you guys know what to do. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. It just confirms to me that I'm doing something right and I'm not spending the evenings talking to myself like a madman. Right, so let's start by destroying one of the biggest myths in the industry, okay, which is entrepreneurship is for the younger generation. And the media loves to show the younger entrepreneur. You know, you got people like Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs when he was younger. Then you've got all of the Insta Reel and the TikTok entrepreneurs, you know, in their 20s giving business advice. I don't know why the media sort of flocks to concentrating on all these younger entrepreneurs. I can't answer that. Maybe that they're just more tech savvy than we are. Maybe that they are easier on the eye. I don't know. But what I do know, and here comes one of the stats, is that the average age of a successful startup is 45. That's not 23. It's not 30. It's 45. And it gets better. Founders over the age of 50 are twice as likely to succeed in business than a 20, 25-year-old. Let me repeat that for you. You are twice as likely to succeed at business than when you were at 25. Still think you can't do this? And we're not talking about side hustle, pocket change money here. We're talking about real companies with real growth, okay? So I'm going to show you, I'm going to read it off the screen here because I found some success stories. You would probably have heard of most of these names, and I'm going to tell you the businesses that they own and the age that they started, okay? So if I'm looking at the screen, it's because I'm reading them. Okay, so Ray Kroc was 52 when he founded McDonald's. Vera Wang entered fashion design at 40. Colonel Sanders was 62 when he franchised KFC. Sam Walton opened the first Walmart at 44. And Charles Flint founded IBM at 61. These are guys and women over the age of 40. They're all within in our age range right now. And this isn't about the famous people. This is about yourself and thousands and millions of other people that are our age, over the age of 40, that are wanting to start and have their own successful business. So why does this myth persist? Well, I've been thinking about this for a little while now, and I've come up with 2 reasons. Number one, I think a youthful entrepreneur is easier to market. Okay, that you can go into their story with starting young and doing the whole career thing, and you know, and the whole growth channel thing. It's difficult to explain, but I just think people think it's easier to market a young entrepreneur rather than someone starting later on in life. That's just my thoughts. And the second one, which is probably more realistic, is something that I don't want to believe, but unfortunately is out there, is ageism. Ageism is a thing. We all know it. You know, if you're looking to start a new career or look for another job in your 40s and 50s, it becomes 2, 3 times as hard as when you're in your 20s and 30s. And even though ageism is real, it doesn't define what's actually possible. Don't let it hold you back in starting your own business, because I've proven with some of the names I've read out previously that it's perfectly possible. And in fact, you're more than likely going to succeed being your age now than when you were 25. Okay, so let's now look at what's actually holding you back. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, those names, you know, they're not me. I have loads of responsibilities. I've got a mortgage to pay. I've got debts. I've got the kids. You know, I've got my career. I can't just ditch everything. I can't move back into my parents' house or live with a friend and ditch everything because it's not possible. And you're absolutely right. Okay, you can't do that. That's just ridiculous. But you don't need to. That's the 20-year-old playbook. You're not building a 20-year-old business. And I'm sure a lot of you won't want to hear this, but the real obstacles aren't external, they're in here. Okay, they're internal obstacles. Things like, oh, I don't have the skills that those guys have, or I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the energies to do this anymore. But I've done a whole video on this. I'm going to put a link at the end of this video where you can watch it. It's called five mindset shifts that I've learned, and it basically is 5 mindset shifts that have completely transformed the way I think since doing my journey of building my own online startup. And the thing is, these thoughts or excuses that are coming up, I still have them sometimes, is that they're just that. Okay, they're excuses, they're thoughts, they're not facts. Okay, if you saying that you don't have time, well, again, I've done another whole video on how doing time management, because everyone has time. It's just a case of using your time effectively and managing it. And I don't have the energy that I used to. Well, you can sort that out. Going for a run, just upping your exercise, that gives you a lot more energy. It has with me. It's my energy has increased 10x since I started running 4 or 5 months ago. And the fact of the matter is that you're not too old to learn any of this. You're very fortunate enough to live in a world now where we have AI and we have drag and drop, design tools. We have AI assistants building web applications for us. Okay, we didn't have that 20 years ago. So, you could have had those excuses 20 years ago. You can't have them today, okay? There is no excuse. And like I've said previously, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say it's a piece of piss, contrary to what you might believe and what a lot of these other YouTubers are saying. Oh, you can start earning 10, 20K a month within 2 or 3 months, okay? We've been there. You're old enough to realize that that's not true. It's going to take hard work. But as long as you're consistent and put in the hard work, then something good will come of it. Okay. I mean, I'm still not there yet. I'm doing these videos. I'm documenting my journey. So I'm trying to give you guys a shortcut to it, so you don't have to go through the stress and all of the finding out what's good and what's not that I've been going through. And don't get me wrong, there are days when I think to myself, hell, this is hard work. Can I sustain this for much longer? But the thing is, I then think to myself, well, I'm already building the foundations. Okay, I'm laying the foundations for going forward. So it's essentially like building a house. I'm layering the foundations at the moment. You don't really see any progress when you're laying the foundations. It's bloody frustrating. It's not easy on the eye. But then as soon as you start seeing those bricks going up, you start to see that light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, and I feel like I'm very, very close to that part now. So there is absolutely no chance in this world that I'm about to give up and throw in the towel, because I've seen how I want to live. I've seen what's possible, and I will well get there. Okay, and I'm very confident that with the same attitude that I've got, you're going to get there probably twice as quick, because if I can do this, okay, and I am not Brain of Britain. Okay, I didn't do particularly well at school. I'm not that academic whatsoever. But if I can learn how to do all of this, if I can make software, or I can record YouTube videos and do social media, then you can too, okay? It's, like I say, not rocket science. You've got this, you can do it. Okay, so let's look at your unfair advantage. So let's talk about what you have that 25-year-old entrepreneurs don't have. So I'm not going to go too much into this because I've gone into this in previous videos. So firstly, you've got your experience. So you're likely got 20, 30 years of experience. 20-year-olds don't have that, okay? And that counts for a lot. Experience is something that people want, they crave on it. It's always better to go with someone who has got experience in that field than someone who doesn't have experience. So that's number one. So number two, you've got your network. And if you've been working probably in a corporate world for 20, 30 years, you've got a good network of people that you can phone for help, and people that you can just sort of chat with and it can give you ideas and help you take it to the next level. Okay, so number three, it's likely that you have some sort of capital and credibility. You have a track record. You've got savings. You've got things that you can fall back on. And this doesn't have to be. You don't have to go all in on this straight away. Okay, this is something that you can do alongside your current 9 to 5. But look, guys, your grey hair is not a liability, okay? It's actually your advantage. So experience signals trust. That is something that you need to remember. It's if you're experienced in something, then someone's more likely to trust you. Okay, so we've established that we're not too old to start a business, even though you still may have doubts. And like I say, I still have doubts at times. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I have very little time. Even though I manage my time effectively, it still gets very frustrating when I can't spend as much time doing this as I want to. But look, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Like I said before, it's not a quick fix. It's something you have to put the work and the hours into. And I think it's not about asking the question if we are too old to do this, because again, we've established that we're not. It's more like, how much longer are you willing to wonder what if? I hope that makes sense. And from 10 years from now, you're going to be 50, 55, 60 or 70, whatever age you're going to be. And you'll either have spent that decade building something meaningful, or you're going to have spent it wishing that you had, basically. So the best time to start is now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Okay. I've shown you the evidence that we're not too old for this. I've shown you people that have created world-beating companies at the age of 40, 50, and even 60 years old. You've just got to keep telling yourself that you've actually got that advantage, and you're twice as likely to succeed starting a business at your current age than when you were at 25. Okay, so that's got to count for something, guys. Okay, that gave me a huge amount of encouragement when I read that. So again, no excuses. You're not too old. You've got this. So I'll wrap the video up there. I really hope you got something from this. Like I say, I'm still learning on my journey. I'm not out of that 9 to 5 yet. I'm laying the foundations. I can almost start seeing the bricks being laid. But yeah, it's not easy. Okay, it is not easy. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, it's a doddle in the park. This is a piece of piss, because it isn't. Okay, it's hard work, stressful, but it'll be worth it in the long run. So anyway, so there's a link above. If you click on the link above, that's the video about the 5 mindset shifts that I've learned on my journey so far. Really good video. Like I say, it completely changed the way I think. Give it a watch, and I shall see you all in the next video.